Front end on, dude? Front end's on?
May have to come back off for the dyno. Adjustable because the old stuff was all rusted and
Yeah.
rotted, and all new stainless little screws. And
Dyno time.
pretty.
Fire me up. And then the next time we come here, we're driving it all the way to Bradenton, right? We will be driving this down to Bradenton next time I come up. Look at that, dude. She's looking spiffy. We got some fuel filters back here.
Yep.
Oh, that water tank. Show me that lid real quick. How's that? Oh, dude.
It's actually for a kayak, but it was nice and easy.
Yeah, you know how we might get, you know. We're not the best at locking and unlocking
Yep. I don't
water
know
cells.
if I told you or not.
Let me
But
see this
you
back.
got a pump inside your deal.
What's that for?
Your cool shirt. Your personal AC unit.
Midwest Drag Week, which is like Race Week, but it's in the Midwest. And we're doing it in the El Camino, which is the plan. So a couple weeks left to have this thing dialed.
Yeah.
And then we're just going to go drive it a couple thousand miles and
Well, I
race
think
it.
the drive home, and then I figure if we can even go like
Big.
But I know that on occasion.
Oh, wow. That's vents for everything. Oh, red, white, and blue. Dang. The details out here.
So, like, you know, I know the hitch tanks occasionally get forgotten to get drained, and so I'm like,
Yeah,
let's just make it. It ended up a little bigger than
I get it. I
planned,
get it.
but
No, it's sweet, though.
So,
And then eventually this will all be under a bed cover. I don't know if we'll have that for Midwest Drag, but
I have all the materials here.
this is,
But
yeah.
These
Wow.
this is where the the breather tanks. It's a single 20. Comes all together there.
That is too freaking sweet. Wow. She is shining. So I guess what do we have to do to get her on the Dude, I love this car. You like that reverse action? Yeah, so if you guys didn't know this, racing transmissions, when you put them in reverse, you have to hold the transmission. What are you going for today, brother? Stop at like maybe 1,400? I mean, I know the turbos and engine are good for 2,000.
Yeah, I mean, I'm good with 1,400.
Okay.
Like, we'll see what kind of boost it takes to get there. If I had to guess.
Leveling the turbos, Kevin. Makes you smile. All right, guys, just because it has been so long, I want to go over the setup. This is a Texas Speed 427 dart block twin Kevin at KSR. And that's the full rundown. Was going to be a jet car, now just a race car.
And for people that don't know, on your channel, like, there's 25 episodes already on my channel.
Yeah, 25.
Watch it. 25
Yeah, so
episodes.
go over to Kevin's channel and click this little button up here.
Thing off, right?
Oh.
Well, up under here,
Ooh,
we've got a charge port.
that's cool.
And then this little switch is going to turn this gauge on so you can see if you need to actually do that or not.
That's
So
freaking cool.
you'll have a little patch cord, spares package for the car, you know, the extra water pump and all the other little extra things I've gathered along the way that I felt like would be good spares to have. And I kind of have a theory, if you bring it with you, you won't need it.
Yeah, I agree.
So hopefully that's how it goes.
All right, let's try it out. She feels primed and ready. And I'm not just talking about the fuel. What are you gonna rev? Dome pressure on the gates.
5.
So that should make about 5 pounds of boost, guys. Let's see what she's got. All right, pull number 2 coming at you, folks.
Roll bar hooked up, and then I get the car as balanced as I can get it, and then go back and put my preload in the anti-roll bar. So that way the car is as neutral balanced as it can be.
Guys, don't hate on our bumper gap. She's not fully mounted yet.
That was 9 pounds.
Your patience amazes me.
Maybe put another 10 pounds on it. I bet it'll probably make 13-ish.
probably all we need to do.
I mean,
All right,
it's so lazy on timing. Like
I know you want to mess. Dude, that's so freaking gnarly. There's such little timing in it.
Shows you a lot what an anti-roll bar does.
Yeah.
I mean, this car will be dead flat with the anti-roll bar hooked up.
Yep. Well, let's see what the boost and timing was. So, all right, cool.
Man,
nice job. Thanks, Travis. All right, guys, go check out Kevin's channel if you haven't already, dude. He's doing such a killer job on the Elko. We're gonna have her home next week. And I'm so excited, but that's it for the dyno day.
1,000 horsepower. That is an insane amount of power. One Top Fuel Dragster's engine makes more horsepower than 10 Formula One cars, 14 NASCAR Cup cars, and an infinite number of current condition low cars. They are tuned to be so powerful that their pistons, rings, connecting rods, spark plugs only last seconds of use. And if they push further than that, your average car engine can last over 3,000 hours of runtime. That's 3 million times longer than these dragsters. So what's the difference? What's in the engine that's so different from your mom's minivan? What allows them to make so much horsepower but last such a limited amount of time? And what's the sequence of events that leads up to their failure? Well, today on B2B, we're gonna snap some necks. This episode. When I was a kid, I was afraid of swimming because my mom told me man-eating sharks lived in these waters. But now that I'm 42, I'm realizing my mommy just wanted this nice swimming hole all to herself. Dave, did you just touch my leg? Top Fuel Dragster drivers experience more G's than an astronaut headed to friggin' space. And if you want to these engines are made from billet aluminum. They use a 2-valve hemispherical combustion chamber that's also made from billet aluminum. The hemispherical head design holds onto the heat produced by combustion better than a non-Hemi head, which allows for a more complete combustion. Valves allow for more air to get drawn into the cylinders and more exhaust to get dumped out. When you can add more air, you can add more fuel, which means you can make more power. You got dang right, more power! But even a 500 cubic inch to make 10,000 horsepower. And that help comes in the form of a supercharger. But not just any old supercharger, oh no. Top Fuel Dragsters use a version of a root style blower that has the ability to spin up to 12,000 revs per minute, make 3,000 cubic feet of air per minute gets forced into the cylinders. There's an actual pressure bomb on top of these engines. And because of that, they use Kevlar bags wrapped around the supercharger to keep it contained if it blows up. And when methane is a fuel choice for a few reasons. Nitromethane, or CH3NO2, is a monopropellant fuel, which means it can combust without any additional air required. That's because it carries its own oxygen, therefore needing less atmospheric air. Coming from gas, you need 14.7 parts air. But since nitromethane has its own oxygen source, it can burn at a ratio of 1.7 to 1. This means you can squirt in a lot more nitromethane into your cylinders, approximately 8.7 times more. You can burn a lot more of it. Gasoline, it has about 4 times more heating value than nitromethane. You get 19,000 BTUs per pound for gas, while nitro just has under 5,000 BTUs per pound. But that doesn't take into account the water jackets are removed from the block. The only thing that's keeping these engines cool is the fuel itself. There's no radiators. And remember, we can use 8.7 times more fuel, which means we get 870% more cooling from the fuel's vapor. Kind of like what happens if someone doesn't feed me in the morning. I get hungry! So these dragsters use 2 spark plugs per cylinder, powered by dual magnetos. and those magnetos produce 44 amps to each cylinder. That's needed for an arc welder. By the time the car gets up to 300 miles per hour, the spark plugs are literally burned away due to the amount of heat being generated. This leaves certain cylinders dieseling, meaning the compression plus the 1400 degree exhaust power from the engine to the ground. What kind of transmission can handle all that torque being generated by these engines? That's a great question. No transmission. Top fuel cars run a direct drive with a centrifugal clutch and is pretty amazing. Now I'm going to explain how a clutch in a motorcycle works first because it's a bit easier to understand, and these clutches operate very similar to how a motorcycle clutch works. Now in a motorcycle, the function of the clutch is to connect the primary gear coming off the crank to the two baskets together. These metal discs right here, they have tabs that latch into the inner basket like this. Now these friction plates, they have outer tabs that latch into the outer basket. Now you can move the outer basket independent from the inner basket. On your clutch lever, you pull these two baskets apart and now they can spin freely. They're no longer connected. Motorcycle clutch 101. Now, who wants to see a two-wheeled show here at Donut? I do. James, let me do it, please. So how does a motorcycle clutch engage the clutch pack? Similar to our basket in our motorcycle, we have a flywheel, clutch disc, floating plates, and a type of pressure plate. Now stacked inside that flywheel are 6 clutch discs and 5 floaters. And at the very end of that flywheel is the coolest part of disaster. So what happens when these crazy powerful, crazy expensive engines do blow up? What are the parts that fail? Head gaskets. Ugh. Your engine has them, and so do top fuel dragsters. Unlike composite gasket materials pressed into one solid gasket, this is probably what's in your car, dragsters use multi-layered steel or MLS head gaskets that are made of multiple pieces of steel attached at just a few points with rivets. Now these dragster teams, they do 10,000 horsepower. Things don't always go exactly as planned. So here's what actually goes wrong. Once an MLS gasket is heat cycle, its embossments will not spring back to where they were originally. And since the embossment is the sealing area that we talked about before, when that's every single second. Since it's so easy for things to go horribly wrong with the connecting rod, they have a very short service life in racing.
Donuts made the sickest hat in town. License real tree camo on your head.
Yeah, that's what I said. Sing it.
C-A-M-O-H-A-T. Baddest hat that O-H-A-T. Blend in and stand out in donut country.
So while the mechanics behind why they fail are pretty complicated, as you've seen, the reason for their short lifespan are pretty intense. Follow us here at Donut on Instagram at Donut Media. Follow me at Jeremiah Burton. And until next week, bye for now.
And then we're gonna bring that sucker in from the backyard. It's been chilling there for a couple weeks now. It's covered up, so we're gonna bring it out and show you guys what this thing is all about. Right there, and I think this thing is fully loaded with cameras because this is the self-driving Tesla. So right? It drives by itself and it like turns by itself. I think I even will drive up to you if you're sitting at the front doorstep of your house. It'll pull up to you, dude. I've seen that somewhere. I think it's called Summon, and that's gonna be the crazy part when we start getting a parts list together. I think it's gonna be all expensive. But as for our fender here, the fender's not damaged. Yeah, the fender looks pretty good. It has a little bit of bend right here. We can just go fix it right quick. Oh dang, dude! So this stuff is all aluminum right now, which is nice. And aluminum is kind of different. There's no damage on it at all. I mean, just look at this crazy, like this mirror. Oh, dude, that thing won't even pop out. It's probably all electronic right there. Oh, that's a robot right there. Dude, it probably comes out and probably high fives you or something like that. But dude, look at this crazy door handle. I wonder how you open it. Like, does it like pop open right there, dude? Does this door handle even come out or something like that? Oh, it does have a button. Feel that, dude. It's like a button, dude. Dude, that feels like an iPhone almost. Or does this thing just open the door as soon as you walk up to it, dude? That is just crazy. I think so. There's a key, and I think as soon as you walk up to it, it just opens up. Most coolest features, dude. The most coolest feature about the Model X, that's exactly why we wanted to get the Model X. All the other models are amazing, but dude, you gotta love the Falcon doors. So these suckers go all the way up like this, super crazy, and they look really cool. I believe they even have like a glass built in.
Their doors, right? They just open up like that?
Yeah, they open up regularly, like, but they do open up electronically, so that's super cool right there. But as you can tell, the damage from the front actually like ricocheted to the back doors and kind of like threw everything out of whack. But there's no damage, like visible damage, looks good. Well, dude, that's crazy.
That is wild. But anyways, moving on to what, the wheels here, dude?
The wheels. First off, look at these pretty cool Tesla wheels. They have a bunch of spokes. They look like fins and stuff like that. And they actually have some pretty decent looking brakes. I believe the front one is actually a brake.
I'm glad that we got this build because there's so much to learn, and we're gonna learn along with you guys. And I know a lot of you guys probably have a bunch of information as well, dude.
There may be Tesla's technicians on here that know everything about this, so definitely leave comments down below. Definitely let us know about all this stuff. But moving on to this spoiler, I'll pop up almost like the Audi.
Oh yeah.
I wish that would have been the case over here, but you know what? This stationary spoiler,
Still looks pretty cool.
It'll do just
now
fine.
I just noticed something about this rear end. Where's the exhaust? I don't see an exhaust. Did somebody take it off of it or something?
Somebody stole the exhaust on this thing, so we're definitely gonna have to contact
fiber diffuser stuff back there. That looks super sick, man.
You see these little fins that stick down? Imagine having them like stick down to here with carbon fiber. That would look epic,
I
man.
guarantee you, when we're done with this Tesla, everybody's gonna want to have a Tesla,
Oh, dude, 100% guarantee. With our little touches that we're gonna do,
The cost though, right here, dude.
probably a bunch.
What's your guess? I'd probably guess like what, 2,500, 3,000?
Yeah, that's what I was. $3,000 probably for this glass. Ooh, who knows? What if this glass is like $10,000?
Oh my goodness,
That'd be
it's gonna be
crazy,
fun
man.
looking those prices up. But I noticed something else. I think there's another crack in the glass, dude. And I'm wondering, look at this framer right here. It's supposed to be right here, and it's all the way over here,
Dude,
man.
That's completely over, like all the way to the side, so you can see a kink over there. So we're gonna have fun just like figuring out how all this stuff gets replaced and stuff like that. The hood, I mean, it just got. Does it have radiators like for the motors, or are they just electric?
I think the motors do heat up, so definitely needs some sort of cooling. I'm thinking that there is some coolers on this thing,
so
dude.
there's probably some kind of coolers on here. I mean, we're just gonna have to just take this whole entire front end apart, which that's gonna be epic on its own. I mean, just
Dude, I can't wait to test drive this thing out, dude. It's gonna be so epic. And honestly, we're probably gonna make it just as fast as the P100D.
dude, if it's possible, 100%. How do you mod this thing?
I think all you gotta do is just a software update or
It
something like
sucks,
that.
man.
Program it.
Yeah, we can't do our little goon squad touches like exhaust. Energized right now, so let's go ahead, pop this hood off, release that ratchet strap right there, and see if we can charge up the secondary battery. What's that saying?
Turn it off, turn it off. Oh, snap.
What's going on,
Oh
man?
my goodness, guys. So this is exactly what we just did. Credit card method to slide it in because it probably didn't read it going in, but then like, it's not like,
Hey, you learn something new every day.
we're
dude.
learning. We're gonna figure this sucker out right quick and we're gonna see what happens here in a
Let's
little
do
bit.
it. You just barely close it.
There she goes, away. Oh, this fender is kind of causing it to block. Let me see if I can make it happen again. I just had to slam it. I just had to slam it, basically.
All right, dude.
Dang, look at that. Oh. What the heck was that, dude? Oh,
For the Falcon door opened up a little bit, and look at this, dude. It basically lined itself back up, which is just insane, dude.
that is epic right there, dude.
Self-aligning doors, dude. But in the next video, I think we're gonna give a shot at probably driving this thing, because we're gonna jump into the interior and do like a full in.
To deliver, we are destroying the original Flare B&B, as well as doing some other stuff. We actually hauled down my mini excavator. We got that down here. We still have the big excavator, so if you missed episode 1, we destroyed the cop car. That's the basically result of that. And then we feel. at that. This is such a good idea because we don't have to clean any of it up. We are gonna torch it, light it on fire. We're trying to decide. Do we save this? Close. I don't. It's gonna be close. So I can get to. I mean, you can try lighting it. Why don't you try lighting? You mean load you down in the bucket? All right, let's do it.
I'm more nervous about him being the operator.